Peace, family. I am Chiriqui, aka Chivata, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits. I told y'all we're gonna get through this. I had to restart this live, so thanks to you guys for staying tuned. That last video is now deleted. There was some reconnection issues. Was trying to do it in a way where more people can gain access. It's all good. Whoever needs to get this is gonna get it. So, shout out to everyone who's here. As you jump into the chat, put your brooms in the chat, okay? Put your lightning beams in the chat, and y'all already know I love the love, so I'll take all the hearts over here. Thank you, darlings, 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 darlings. What's up? Let's see. I have a few new people here. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my updates. They come in weekly, and like the video. Une Alora. Hi, welcome. Hi, Elemental Vibrations. Hey, K Bael. And welcome, welcome. Hi, Joisha. Welcome. The Vex Scribe. She's mad and she's writing. What up? Every bit of Jackie, what's going on? Hey, Emerald, how are you? CEO Magic is in the building. Imuna Zamani. Woo, you made it live. Woohoo. Refresh is in the building. Cherie Stringfield. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. All right, so this video is really going to be fun. Y'all already know if you've been kind of binge watching. I love talking about communication. I love communicating about communication. Life has always, for me, and a lot of the people, obviously, because of my own experiences, has always come down to like, what are really some good ways to communicate? What are better ways to communicate? And being a spiritual being, communication is way deeper. Okay. So that's why I said darkness is coming, but not in a scary way. Like right now is like the most opportune time for you to really light it up. So there's no fear in darkness coming. I want you to embrace it because when these particular energies come around, and we're talking about vampiric energies, when they come around, it's not for you to run. We don't do running over here. And we're gonna talk about why. Okay. Of course, we want to have boundaries. We're not gonna necessarily want to engage with vampiric individuals. But then some of you are actually working with vampiric energies. So, like, what's that about? We'll table that for another discussion. However, it's not really a problem. A lot of the issue comes into play when you just don't know how to effectively navigate negative people. Okay? Because negative people, they come with a very sticky ass energy, right? They come with this energy that when they're around, it's like, I want to be so crazy. It's like that fart that the person left the room hours ago and still it lingers. And you're like, God damn, how come this smell won't go away? Like the windows are open, the incense is burning, but I still can absolutely smell the lingeration of this negative energy. And it's important for you to note that, okay? Because negative energy is like that. Negative energy, like, we'll use words like clean and parasitic because they require a source. They're trying to live, okay? The difference between negative people, right? And we have to get clear about, the intentions behind some negative people and some, like, what's driving them, right? But like the major difference between what you would consider a negative person versus a positive person really comes down to One that is um, trying to live, right? Everything is about trying to live. And another that is creating life, okay? One that is always finding a problem, and one that is always resolving issues, okay? So here are some words that I want you to make your ears perk up during this season. And it's not like you haven't heard them before, but there's a couple of things. For individuals that have a tendency, including yourself, if you hear yourself say this, it's a red flag. Let it be a red flag across the board. No excuses, okay? No excuses. Y'all ready? Red flags. Everyone light up the chat with the red flags. Okay? Light up the chat with red flags. One of the major red flags when it comes to vampiric or parasitic energies is any phrase, okay, that goes, yeah, but. You know, when your friend comes to you and expresses this in super frustrating situation, and you offer your outside the box advice or suggestion, and they answer, yeah, but I want you to hear yeah, but like you're in a scary movie and they just cue the scary music. Hey, 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 hey. Okay? No buts. Especially not after yeah, because yeah is the positive affirmation. Like, yeah, yeah. Okay? Here's the thing, my dear light beings, my dear hearts. I don't want you to get frustrated because the energy behind that is to get you frustrated. So that's the first decision you're gonna make. Don't get frustrated. You definitely let the red flag go off. And then you have to embody this particular mindset for the situation. Can you all say this is a no fix zone? No fix zone. A no fix zone means when I hear that in response to a suggestion, a constructive suggestion, something that is to resolve some type of hardship, challenge, frustrating moment of ignorance, and the answer is yeah, but, identify it as being in a no fix zone. Okay, this is a no fix zone. Okay, so lovingly, you're having this conversation in your mind, which is energetically already like clink, 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 creating a nice little auric orb around you to say self energies, my guides that roll with me that have been making me very capable of navigating life. Y'all have a seat because they don't want our help. Okay? They don't want our help. We're not here to fix them. Y'all are here for me, and I really love how y'all extend your goodness to the people that I care about. But in this moment, we're in a no fix zone. So everybody stand. What is it? Um, hold fast. Okay. We're gonna tell our energies, hold fast. This is a no fix zone. All right. Just in saying that in your mind, hold fast, this is a no fix zone, and with a smile on your face. Okay. Stand down. Yes, stand down. Stand down, hold fast. Now we do the stand down because you keep your energies on ready, okay? But the whole fast is like we're not operating here. They're just gonna do the normal day to day work with you, and you're training them because for those of you who have really protective energies, they start to learn, right? Who you also would love to protect. And because of your love and extension out to them, they actually will go and protect those individuals. This is a fact. Like, it's not just, parent to children. It's not just because they're of your kin that they will protect them. Like, your very close friends, like your energies that are really cool with the people that you care about. Anytime any of those individuals feel some kind of distress and you become aware of it, notice how it's not just you that feels upset. You feel an energetic squadron that goes like, oh no, there's a situation, right? We got to look out. And so, like, a lot of those individuals, your loved ones who are close to you, they'll tell you, like, you know, I was having this issue and like something you said to me just popped up and it just helped me so much. Your energy is just spirits helping them out because that vein, look at my goosebumps. I don't think the camera, can y'all see that? Y'all see that on the camera? Our energies, our protective spirits, our guides, they go beyond time and space, right? And they're with us all the time. So energetically, they know that for anything to happen to people that you really care about in a negative way is going to have a negative impact on you. So can I get like, this is proactive. This is like the holistic approach to protecting you energetically. All right. So that's why when we get into a space where we're like, this is a no fixed zone, right? They're aware, okay, we know that this is a familiar person that you care about, but at this time you're telling us to stand down. And so we're gonna mind our business and just make sure that we're looking after you. Okay, that's the first thing. Y'all got that? So I wasn't gonna talk about this yet, but because I see it in the chat, shouts out to the Vex Scribe. She know. But why you know? She know. Right? Shouts out to my goddaughter. Right? All right. Anyways, changing the subject to something positive. Like all of the people who have experience working with the specially gifted individuals, children and adults, right? Who don't have the same sense of self-control. We automatically know like redirection is the most positive way to get them to engage in things that are more um, developmentally positive for them, um, more effective for their growth, increasing in their knowledge and their ability to do things for self, right? Redirection. And in order to redirect an individual who is sinking in their negativity, you can redirect the conversation. Now, most times, what happens, right? Here we go with some other. I'm going to give you now a word of empowerment. All right. So, you folks come to you and they're like, yo, you wouldn't believe what happened. What had happened was dot, dot, dot. And to you, you like, dang, like that really does sound stressful as hell. I'm so glad I didn't have to go through that. And so, one thing is, people who are coming to you with this, they're not coming to you like they're not. There are some people who are intentionally just like this. They just are killjoys and they do that because they're just miserable. All right. But a lot of times that's not the case. It's not intentional. So this individual is coming to you because one, they feel like you're a safe place, right? To be seen, to be heard. And in order for you to redirect with utmost finesse and mastery without crushing the individual and having that abrupt like shock to the system, because there is going to be an energetic shock, right? Because your frequency is buzzing here and the person is coming to you here and then wanting you to come down from here to meet them eye to eye. And you got to be in like your fast twitch frequency muscles. I'll be making stuff up, but it's just so you can get the picture, right? You touch and go. So you touch and go like this. Like, oh man, I can imagine that's super frustrating. So can you tell me like what went really well for you today? Because the touch and go is, I heard you. I agree that situation is inflated hell frustrating. Now, instead of me coming down here and staying here, I like came down here to like see you, heard you. I'm going back up here and I'm going to do what I can to allow you to climb up out of that little trap that you're in and transition you to even think for a moment. Try to. Now, it's going to give them a little body jerk. Like they're actually going to feel themselves put it back. Okay, because why? Their brain, right? The frequency of their mind and their thought process is really engaged and locked in and attached to this particular situation that has overpowered their emotional intelligence. Okay? No one wants to be down. No one wants to be frustrated. So when that's happening and now they are coming to someone for help, essentially, right? Help in some form or fashion. They realize on a subconscious level, like it's too much to bear. They're kind of stuck. And so you give them a line. And when you give them a line, what happens if someone drops you a line? Like you have to look up. You'll see the person, the individual actually physically look up to retrieve that tape that they have of their day to try to find like what's going well. Like you just hit the brakes on them. Press 1 in the chat if this is helping your whole life right now. You like, oh, I'm strapped. I'm like, this is enough for me to just go out there and be like ready. I can actually continue working on increasing my vibration because I'm making sure that I'm attractive to really nice places, really wonderful, creative, fun, adventurous people. Prosperity is finding me. And still, I'm living in this world and I have friends who aren't necessarily as disciplined as me, but I love them, right? I have family. I'm not going to unfamily them because they're not on this wavelength, but I still, you know what I'm saying? Got to make sure to protect my energy. Okay? All right. So now let's move to. So y'all get that. Okay? Listen, somebody said they want to pluck them in the forehead sometimes. I get it. I get it. Like sincerely, I get it. You may actually want to pluck them in the forehead, but what you are going to do is you're going to pluck them in the forehead energetically because you don't want any assault charges from people that love us. Okay? Because when they mad, they might get too mad. And we're going to keep our hands to ourselves as much as possible. So when we use our hands, yeah. Okay. The disassociate. I want to read the chat a little bit. Give me a second. The disassociation with that is annoying. With that is annoying is hard sometimes. The obviousness. Yeah. So, now when you do that, you also are triggering the person's heart to open, because if they struggle with the transition, okay, when they're in, I was really frustrated that gear is locked in, and then you like kick them into first, right? Then, you know, what is it, like second, third is a little close, the car is closer to the earth, kind of like boom. You kick them into first, and they're like boom, boom, right? But it's a little janky, okay? They might get stuck. You don't need to let the silence linger for too long, because in that moment they're very fragile. Because a couple of things can happen, and the way that the mind works is so fast. It's so fast. Like, you have to be a mental ninja. And it's important, because while you're doing this with other people, I'm also like redirecting you to recognize these things in yourself. Okay? Like, let's be honest right quick. How many of you have said yeah, but when someone was genuinely trying to be helpful? Press one if you have said yeah, but when someone was trying to help you. Because you were so mad, you were so attached to being mad, and everyone needed to know that you should be mad. Okay? So, cool, right? So this allows you to have some compassion for the realities of life. We're human. We have the minds of gods and the minds of monkeys. And even monkeys are intelligent, but they be getting out of pocket, right? Okay, have you ever been around monkeys? They're out of pocket. They're goddamn rude, actually. And they don't have any freaking boundaries when it comes to your stuff. Anyways, so here we are. You've jarred them really quickly in that moment. If they cannot come up with what's going well for you right now, it can either one, exacerbate something called them having depression, which means they have now lived in this space for so long that they've forgotten about anything good. Their brain has already stopped absorbing the goodness that happens on a daily basis. And so to ask them that reminds them of how far away they are from a space of positivity. And that in itself can trigger them to remember to be attached to being down. Okay? Secondly, if they can't immediately think of something, they also can go into the mode of, damn, I can see and feel like my friend is so positive. My friend is like really in a healthy place. And now I feel some guilt and shame that I've come to them with this complaint, essentially. And they're trying to shift me. And I feel kind of bad that I just dumped on them. Like, I feel bad because now I realize I'm not in the same frequency as them. Okay? And what does that do? That reinforces other feelings that are lower vibration, guilt, shame, right? That's why you don't want to linger for too long, because there are a couple of things already happening in their mind at that time, and they're having to sort through making a different decision from where they are set at. The individual will most benefit if you can see. You got to be able to be aware, okay? And I'm saying look at them, but not in the eyes. I want you to look at them like their wholeness, okay? There's a reason why. As soon as you offer that transition, what's going well? What happened good for you today? right? It only takes a split second. You'll see them hit with the transition, boom. Searching. It ain't gotta be a 10-second pause. In 3 to 5 seconds, you provide one or two things they can be grateful for. You can either compliment them on their outfit. I know that's right, you are eating that outfit. Oh my gosh, right? It's so it's so good to see you and to know that you're still here. I know that sounded frustrating, but I'm glad that you were here to tell me about it. There could be worse circumstances. So something that allows them to, one, know that you're not judging them for not having an answer, and then just providing them an example. Well, look at who's standing on 2 feet though, right? Things that we take for granted, and in that moment will have the person able to physically connect with something that is higher. All right. So that those energies that are at their backs don't even have a chance to grab onto your cloth. They don't have a chance. It's like you spraying Raid on their roaches. Ain't nothing over here for you, boo. Nothing. Okay? Now, what's the thing with the eyes? Did y'all want to know? Yeah, do y'all want to know? Okay. The reason why you want to avoid that deep eye contact, right? That people tend to say that's a great way to let someone know that you're really, really present and you're listening. You see, when you acknowledge that this is a no fix zone or you're in a red flag has gone off, one of the main entrance places for those negative energies, okay, are through your eyes. And so when you see that someone is going through something different from what you prefer energetically, okay, so we call it negative, all right, you want to also protect your portals to your soul, and you don't want to eye contact with them. You can look at them, but you don't need to be looking into them at that moment. Because what happens, this energy is going to be pulled. And when that happens, when a person is not around you any longer, or even before they exit, you're going to start to feel drained. And so everything else that you wanted to get done and you were really excited about, like you might have been up here at 10 with the excitement and the ready to go energy, and now you're at an 8. Okay. So that's why we want to learn how to soften the gaze and not choose eye contact as our means of letting someone know that you're there for them. Okay. And these are all techniques before you get into the I'm cutting you off, because the whole idea of moving to cutting people off, okay, as soon as you acknowledge that they have some negative tendencies. Let me sip 1 second. That shows more weakness on your behalf to have emotional control and sovereignty for yourself, because you can't avoid life. And if you continue to avoid life, you're not going to get very strong when you're going to need that strength for your own personal goals and your own personal reality, when you're experiencing your own personal emotions. Okay? That makes sense? Because one thing mother will tell you, I cannot stand a snooty ass individual who swears on everything that they are so high, mighty, positive, happy, cheerful, abundant, prosperous, all of those things, that the moment someone has a negative moment, right? An instance of negativity, they're running for the hills. I cannot stand that, because it shows more that that person, the only way they know how to maintain that frequency is by hiding. And we don't hide. Warriors don't hide. Okay? We can be discreet. We can have we definitely have boundaries. We know how to block and deflect. And even if you want to say, well, I'm royal, I'm a queen, I'm a king. Okay? Inside of yourself, you have everything. So, as a king, as a queen, these tips, these directions you have for your spirits, and how you are able to still engage with the people that matter. It ain't like you got to go through all of this for every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you meet on the street. But a lot of times you all know how to navigate those situations. It's more so the situations where you're at work. You're going to show up to work every day, and Billy Bob is going to be in the lounge and is going to be talking about something that didn't go right, and the higher ups have given this decree and they don't know shit about the job, so they just figured they'd just change the rules because they have no idea how this one simple rule is just changing and effing up the whole flow, right? But you're going to go to work and you're going to be in vicinity of that. And that's where it matters to have these tools, because even as a king or a queen, each of these energies and these tools that you're using to maintain this space that you enjoy living in, they're part of your kingdom. They are your pawns. They are your rooks. They're, you see what I'm saying? They're your bishops. You're placing them strategically to maintain your seat in your throne. If you engage in such a way that now you feel so afraid, like you gotta run, you can't even live at the level of royalty, because royalty is under constant threat. Constant. Think about that. Any king or queen, they have to be trained in how to navigate the tough stuff, right? Not hide in the castle. They have to know how to communicate with their guards. They have to know the secret language. They have to have control over their emotions and their body language when there's a very physical threat, or an evident threat has already entered the castle, and they need not be shaking in their boots, because that individual, that energy is going to be able to see, oh, you fooled because you're scared of being in this environment. No, no, right? So think about it like that. There's no strength in running every time. Because what happens when you're in a work environment and you decide that I work for the same company you work for, but because I have it in my mind that I am a king or a queen, right? With this incomplete understanding of what that means, okay? I'm going to just stay to myself all the time. What happens is when things are happening at work, you have no allies. If you happen to make any human mistake, you got nobody to cover for you. You have not developed any relationships, even for the purposes of getting along well, so that when you need things done, maybe you need to take vacation off. And now you need somebody to trade times with you. You don't have that relationship. Why? Because the whole time you always run. Rather than running, you can utilize these tips, and individuals will see you as very mature, very wise, very helpful. And because they see that, and you have trained their negative energies, you have trained their vampiric energies, that you're not the one, because you have tools, okay? They themselves will start to self correct and know what to bring you and what not to bring you, okay? It's like you got to check the energies by letting them know you have tools, you have weaponry against that. No negativity formed against me shall prosper. And so you stand up in it. Okay. And this brings me to this other piece, right? Because we go from the no fix zone, which is not a total, what is, come on, words. Come on now, words. A no fix zone is not an excuse to escape, right? But now we're going to move into the let them. Everyone light up the chat with let them. Let them. Let them. This is going to free you. Bring into your mind one individual that you've been to. They are the one. If there's a family gathering and there's going to be an argument, that's the one. You already know that when you arrive and that one is there, it's going to be some drama. Right? You already know that when you pick up the phone for this particular person, it's going to be something sticky. And you know it because, there's a history there. This is where you don't do tug of war. You ain't dropping a line to bring them up 2 notches. You're going to let them. You release the rope and you let them. And you can give them silence. Okay? Let them finish and gas out. And when they finally finish gassing out and are looking for you to engage in the conversation, here's your hard no. These kind of conversations really don't feel too good inside my spirit. So I heard you. And then go. Exit. You know why? Because you want to let them. You want to let them just be themselves. You don't try to fix. You don't try to encourage. You absolutely ain't fixing nothing. You just let them. Let them go for it. I mean, goddamn, like if they take a long time, because some of them have a lot of gas. I'm not going to hold you. Some of them have a lot of freaking gas. So if their gassing out takes a little too long for you, with a quiet voice, because yelling This yelling really infuriates someone who's going for it. Okay. Um, unless you keep it short. I this is if you want to raise your voice a little bit, I don't want to have this conversation. Peace. Okay? That's one way. To just interrupt them for a moment because they're taking too goddamn long for their gassing out. Okay? And otherwise, if they don't take too long when they finish, you let them know. This topic can be very exhausting. I don't want to have this conversation. And walk away. You have to physically change spaces because they will try to continue in some way or edge you on to engage in the conversation, and you're going to need to leave anyway. So it's better that you leave before it gets to another level. Even if you just take a walk and you come back doing something totally different. Okay? Um but yeah. So y'all have the no fix zone and you have to let them. Y'all have any questions? Trying to make sure. Okay. Oh, I did have one more suggestion for you. I have one more suggestion. But let me see if y'all have any questions. Put some questions in the chat. Let's see. I have relatives that are ops from a past life, past life karmics. If the situation becomes vampiric and abusive, I have to unfamily them for my own peace of mind. All right. So the thing with unfamilying people, that's an option. Okay. It's just not your first option. You obviously unfamily people who have a history of bringing in their negativity, their abuse, their it can be substance abuse, it can be verbal abuse, it can be physical abuse, it can be financial abuse, whatever the negative energy is. And you do have an option, right? First of all, you have the option, period. Okay? But the reasons why you do unfamily those individuals, right? Unfamily, unfriend, um, or unmarried, right? Is because if you engage with them and decide to commit to trying to fix the situation, if you commit yourself in trying to bat up whoever or whatever the case may be with them, you now take on that negative karma. And in particular, some of y'all have worked really hard on balancing these things out so that you can get on beyond the deficit of negative karma that you've either have come into this life with or that you've accumulated during this life. And you can't afford to take on anybody's negative karma. Now, we are in the thinning of the veil time, which is a hot zone for destiny swapping and karma dropping, which means you have been working on the elevation of your soul and your ability to not come back here. And so a lot of those rewards are starting to come in for the work that you've been putting in. And some individuals can see like it's about to be your time to shine. They can utilize the Trojan horse of their closeness, their relationship to you, okay, to swap with you, give you the dusty ass karma, okay, and then leave with your prize. And you'll be sitting there like, one, either how did you tragically die right before you were supposed to get the prize, or how did you tragically lose all of your opportunities because you engaged with this negativity that had nothing to do with you, or you've been seeing it for a long time and it's like you just could not make the decision to chill with all of that, and now you got kicked down the stairs, and that person just got like a whole 500 bonus pack of good karma. Like, this is a real thing. Okay, so for those of you who have already made decisions to unfamily people, unfriend people, and you have your reasons that are very valid. Okay, you have proof in the pudding that those individuals mean you no good whatsoever, because evil is a real thing. It does exist. Let's not even try to pretend it doesn't. All right, that little uncle that don't know how to keep his hands to himself, that he exists. You don't want to be his niece anymore. I feel you. We're not doing that, right? You will protect yourself. That door is shut. So these tools in no way are telling you, oh, I got these new tools now. Let me go reopen those doors to see what they're made of. Nah, I want you to trust, especially as we are shifting through this very thin veil, and a lot of those supernatural powers that you are going to be privileged with are going to help you get over that bridge into the new life, right? That you're choosing and you're designing for yourselves in a beautiful way. I want you to navigate this space with utmost care. There's no reason for you to consistently be going toe for toe with individuals who are trying to like madden you with nonsense. And you can see nonsense a mile away. You're intelligent. Okay. Some people literally, like, they will have in their mind that you fit the description of the thing that needs to be annihilated, even when you're not doing anything to these individuals. And so I want you to stand your ground and maintain a high level of intelligence, emotional intelligence. And even sometimes that comes with seeing and knowing what's really going on. But since you're in a no fix zone, you don't need to give any evidence or information about what is happening. You're in a no fix zone. You can shift the conversation or you can exit. Right? Now, I want to look at y'all got me. Let me get some shades. Ashe, and let me get some brooms in here because the brooms. All right, I'm looking at these questions. Is dealing with family issues being a person of family issues being a person of higher vibrancy in a situation of way of breaking generational curses or family shadow work? So we're not immune to this. Okay, if you've hmm, if you've made the decision as an adult to choose a higher frequency, It has come from living at a lower frequency, a lower vibration, and feeling the contrast between what your soul is capable of experiencing versus what you are experiencing. That's the first part, right? You follow? Press one in the chat if you follow. So if you're born into a situation, family dynamics, where you're feeling so much resistance around you when it comes to the vibration of your family, you absolutely got there via some karmic thing you needed to work out. All right? You chose that particular experience to work it out. Is it for you or is it for your mama? Is it for you or is it for your papa? Your script, your blueprint has their coding in it as well. And by default, as you are climbing the ladder vibrationally, you are absolutely breaking those bonds and restructuring your blueprint for the next generation to come. And this is coming from Legacy Sigma, right? So legacy, 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 legacy. Legacy is about what you are able to accomplish here and leave behind for generations to come. All right? Of course, there's going to be some shadow work, but not everyone is going to do the shadow work. You're betting on doing the shadow work for yourself so that the family that you are producing moving forward via your example or via your seed is going to be one that is not having to deal with that any longer. Okay? Some of the behaviors or some of include, like we talk about, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, all kind of those things, right? They're passed on generationally. Any illness is passed on. That also includes mental illness as well. And they can either be coming from a curse or particular energies that have followed the family all this time. And someone didn't know how to train them, cut them off, banish them if need be. So, what you're coming into knowledge of absolutely speaks to the fact that you signed up to be the one. Because I bet you the more that you do well for yourself, is the more family is going to be curious about what's working for you and can you share? Right? Especially when they know, especially you have siblings and y'all came from the same household, they're going to want to know, how did you climb out of this household seeming to be sane when the rest of us are having serious ramifications from being in that same household? Like, please. They're going to give you the bow and be like, show me. Okay? Hope that answered your question. Technique Twin said, teachable moment for them by steering those combos out of the gossip energy direction like they expect. Oh, yeah. That's another one. There's complainers and there's gossipers. Right? Complainers and gossipers. Those are the top two topics of discussion for energy vampires and people who are being mobilized by some type of negative entity. Some people just need a villain in their story. I usually just ask them, make me a damn good one when they tell it. So that is I'm gonna put that under the category of let them. Okay, that's a strong let them situation where you're not even exiting. You don't exit left. It's like, all right, that's your story. Congratulations. And when you tell it, continue to tell it exactly like that. See, the thing is, some people get more juice and power off of you being mad that you're going to tell a story about them that doesn't suit you. But when you don't care because you're totally at peace with the truth, they're not going to want to tell the story because they already know it's not as entertaining. Everybody else doesn't care that you're a villain. You are supposed to care that you're a villain. So if you don't care that you're the villain, then they don't want to tell the stupid ass story about you anyway. So your let them is definitely letting go of that tug of war rope. I love that one. Um, let's see. Any other questions? I've always known I was the one on Family Do the Work. Yes. See, now you're thinking outside the box, but you know, you got some cheat codes. You got some cheat codes when it comes to that. The Vex scribe said, right, like the deities, the telling of the story, every time someone mentions your name only strengthens you. Now, I'll say this. If you really, really are solid in that, fine. But if you are a little vulnerable, you should work on getting more solid with yourself. And don't encourage anyone to keep saying your name. And I say this because the first and the most strongest hold that a hex can have or a curse can have is that in your mind you're troubled by what someone has said about you in any way, or someone has threatened to do or say to you, whether magically or physically. If you let that into your mind, you start to weaken your defenses. And that goes into why I have y'all do shadow work all the time. Is because during the shadow work is where you get to be vulnerable enough to see, like, I got a little weak wall there, and we're going to work on strengthening it. Me, myself, and I. You feel me? That's where you get to be really honest with where you are and what defenses that you're going to be able to use effectively. All right. So that is all I have for y'all today. The link for my floor wash will go out. Everybody who gets my floor wash knows that joint cleans up the space very, very well. For everyone who is going to purchase a broom specifically for this energy, um, you should get a natural broom, okay? And you can use my floor wash to spray it in there to put at your door. Of course, bristles up, y'all, to protect it from when either people are coming over or to keep people who don't have the right energy from coming through your door at all, period. This is a real thing. So if you don't get the whole long, the whole full size broom, even like a smaller broom with the bristles up at your door is going to be very effective in keeping those energies out. All right. That's a little, it's a little witchcraft for you. Um, that's it. That's it, y'all. I love hanging out with y'all. Please please share this video. Y'all, share this video. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't really share as much when I use this platform. The way that I'm filming, they like us to use our mobile phones for some reason. It puts the word out more. So please share um, the video and tell your friends, tell your family, like, here. So when you get to redirecting them, they will already know, oops, I'm being a little negative and I can do better. All right. Uh, oh, Zella, last question. I have a cinnamon broom. Will that work? Yes, it will. And you can sprinkle the floor wash on it. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace, love, bliss. Have a beautiful day. I'm out.